Got it.
Well, the first time?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yes. The first time, of course. What do you think I am? A hack?
I mean,
Yeah.
exactly put it that way.
Not exactly. Let's see. Oh, no wonder my hard drive doesn't have much space left. I just looked in my downloads. Apparently, you shouldn't install JavaScripts that download all content on a web page and then click on it accidentally.
No.
Seems like a bad idea. Seems like I might clog your stuff up. All right. Well, Atomic Dork Squad. I was going to maybe do an opening. I don't know if I have one. ADS opening 2.0. Okay. I don't know what this is. There we go. 2.0 sounds better than just a regular one.
It was a long time ago, 40 years to be precise. Our Zeros, young Daniel, young Jeff, and the new kid Geoff formed an unlikely trio.
How can you do this?
The three nerds had very, very high levels of nerdy chlorons. So had in fact that we just knew that they would bring balance back to the universe, as long as they died by their 12th birthdays.
I will be the most powerful Jedi ever.
Unfortunately, they skipped past that milestone, and instead they had to contend with puberty, that fickle bitch who dumps jet fuel into your loins and an oil slick on your face.
I'm Captain Han Solo.
You can be Luke's son, you can be Han Solo's son, I don't give two shits in a popsicle!
The boys grow up, while Geoff shows off and loses his fake card early, and already voted in his first presidential election. Russ P. Rowe, you're the boss and I'm Russ. What a tool.
Daddy!
Why are you here?
Well, anyway, Jeff was a rich swimmer, so he made up for it with 6 trunks with 9 teenagers. He married for lust. He married for status. He made his first Padawan after 40.
Hey, silly baby, grab my butt! Not fair!
I know.
You can be Luke's son, you can be Han Solo's son, I don't give two shits in a popsicle!
No. What's strong with this one?
It's a trap!
Daniel found his groove, acting a fool for people at the Blackwater Well Emporium and Torture Center. He soon goofed his way into the arms of his sugar mama-like mate. Mastering his skills as a stay-at-home Jedi makes Daniel a real hero. Evil.
Is that what it's like inside your head?
It's all noisy. Lots of noise, lots of flashing lights. Yeah. I forgot I added some additional shit. Obviously I didn't go clean up the part where apparently I was dragging and dropping an entire group of sound effects. Where did it go? It was on a track up above what I had open. I was like, shit, I was moving those in so I can sort them. That part, yeah, you can't hear anything. So, 2 shits in a popsicle stick. I'm like, oh my Lord. I'm a professional.
Clearly, video editing is your missed calling.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty fly for a white guy.
I'm actually learning a new video software, DaVinci Resolve.
Yeah, DaVinci's good.
Yeah, the Corridor crew had switched from After Effects to that for compositing, and I was interested in checking it out, and also not paying $60 a month for Adobe.
Yeah. Yeah, Adobe's good if you can get your company to pay for it, but
Yeah, of course. Then I bought it. I bought the full version. I didn't use the free version of DaVinci. I went to the full version so I could do all the 3D stuff. And a guy at work goes, as much Black Magic stuff as we buy, they're sending us discs for that all the time. Could have had it for free after all. But
dang it. You're like, really? Really?
couldn't have told me that Friday.
Right. Come on, guys. Come on.
But I went from hit film to After Effects and to this, which hit film and After Effects are very similar. It works in layers. You build layers, and in DaVinci it's nodes, and you're drawing everything, and like trying to take a 3D object, and give it textures, which I have a bunch of textures from this one software I have. But it's a interesting process to get a texture onto a 3D model, and I haven't figured out how to change the texture in different areas of the 3D model yet. So that's another thing.
Yeah, it's funny. I think I used hit film for one of these. I didn't like it quite as much, so I got open shot. I've used open shot. It's similar, it's like layering track. You can separate the audio. A lot of the things, a lot of the edits and effects can just be done, in the frame. I like it better. It's, because it's linear, and then at the same time, you can physically manipulate what's in the frame during that time slot, like during that, basically within that set of frames, wherever you want to do it, you can say, okay, pause here. Now I'm going to change this, and if you want to physically move stuff around, it will track, and it will watch. Basically, it's watching what you're doing, or it's tracking the fact that you're moving it, and then it remembers that. And so I like that. I like some of the easier, intuitive things that it's able to do.
Yeah, Resolve or DaVinci and HitFilm are similar in the sense that you have a timeline, and then you can, in any one of them, like, so if you have a clip, a video clip, you can then, on HitFilm, you go make a composite track, and it takes it to another place where you can actually add your effects, and then it doesn't change the time on the timeline. So that's very similar. In Resolve, DaVinci Resolve, it basically, you just highlight wherever you're at, and you go to the next tab, and it gives you the edit. So it's actually even easier in some of that sense. But I've been trying to learn the camera tracker so that I can create virtual cameras, but I can add a 3D text that will stay in place on the
right. And
the one built into HitFilm's a little better overall, I think. It's a planar. I was messing with the planar tracker on this one. Actually, the one in After Effects is a little better so far too. I was just have a simple track of Tara walking down the beach in Tampa, and it's just a simple pan, but it's locking onto birds, and I'm trying to erase those points for it, and it's still giving me a bad track. So it's fairly good, and all of a sudden it'll just go in the jump, and so it doesn't work very well.
You're like, okay, kill that bird. Bird. Instead of it, I don't know if you work like me. At first, I'll address the low-hanging fruit. Like, let's say it's tracking the wrong object. I'm like, okay, how do I get rid of the object? As opposed to, how do I stop it from tracking other objects? Like, the solution is, how do I keep it locked? How do I anchor it here so that no matter where I go, it's gonna.
Yeah, there is ways I can create masks and hide areas of it, and I was doing that. I was hiding Tara from it at first because it was locking onto her, and then so I got that, but then there's so much I have to mask off that I was like, well, then I'm going to lose some of the other good points if I try to mask off much of it. So, and then the water, because the water is constantly moving, it's picking up points, and that every few seconds and creating new points, and then those points.
Like, this AI is not very smart, is it?
Yeah, I don't think I had very many problems with After Effects on the tracks. I feel like I always had a pretty good track, although it wouldn't have the ground in the right place, but the camera moved correctly.
You ever read the instruction manual?
Well, I've been through on hit film. I've been through so many tutorials. I'm pretty good at hit film. I can do a lot in hit film. And same with After Effects.
Mhm.
I mean, that little 3D thing I created for Atomic Dork Squad was on, which you haven't used. So there,
Where is it?
on YouTube. I mean, I think I
Tell me
sent
where
it to you as well. I think I also sent it.
I don't know. Maybe you did. How am I supposed to remember? I've got so much noise.
I know, like I said, that's your head inside your head. So
It's not really that noisy. I make noise in order to avoid the noise. I'm a smash cut, max headroom sort of fan, you know.
I see that.
It's a style. Let's see. Let's
Where's it at on here?
open with Chrome. Sure. Go ahead and play.
What's that?
Some bumper music options that someone's at my door.
That's not what I wanted to share.
Oh yeah, he ordered food.
Here we go. Right there.
No? What do you think? Trying to put together
At that.
options. Oh, there. Okay. I like that. Yeah, I like that. That's nice.
I was pretty proud with getting the lights to spin around and affect the walls. And
Yeah. You made that with hit film?
I made that with After Effects. After Effects, and I have a 3D plugin for that called Element 3D.
Excuse me. Let's see if this plays.
Hear a little bit of music.
Oh, did I stop sharing?
I think I took over. There we go.
Atomic Dork Squad. No, doesn't work.
It's like the X-Files version.
I just got a strong. This is a motivating cinematic story. You feeling it? Next on Atomic Dork Squad, on an a whole new special Blossom Starcher period. That was not too bad, but it's missing a little, je ne sais quoi. How about cyberpunk cinematic? Let's see if this gives us a little more feel about what the show should have. Oh, we already played that one. Okay. Well, so far,
I just have to write something.
not impressed. Go ahead. So anyway, hi, welcome to Atomic Dork Squad. Right now it's the Dork Squad duo. He's the man with a plan. I don't know what his plan is, but that's Dan. And Jeffrey with the G. You know me. Mr. Jeff, I don't know where he is or what he's doing. He just said late. I think he's challenging my command from last week. I said 7 o'clock Pacific. If you can't be there, just let me know the day before. instead of all this last minute, we can't be there. And then what happens? Well, he says kind of last minute, I'm going to be late with no, okay, cool, win. That's fine. Not the end of the world. And then I wind up being late.
Yeah, I was about to say, to be fair.
Yeah. Yes. Because
I was the only one on time.
Karma. That's called karma. That's what happens. So yeah, I now am a mentor to a occupationally handicapped gentleman who is learning how to bag groceries and check out and like also scan like the whole thing. I still feel like I'm having chest pain because when I said, hey, I'm gonna pop over to the store, grab a few things, I literally have 45 minutes before we go live, and this store is 5 minutes away max. There we go. 10, perfect. 15 minutes in, back, plenty of time.
You know what's sad about that?
What?
I went to the grocery store a quarter till.
Yeah.
I did self checkout.
Yeah, it wasn't an option in the store. Was not an option. Yeah, my chest hurts. I think this might be some good good music bed. Tell me what you think. Sorry, don't need to cough in your ear. Is that familiar?
No.
It's Khaled. The song is by Khaled. Khaled. It's called Young, Dumb, and Broke. Because we're young, dumb, and broke. Daniel's not listening to current pop music these days, so I just took the
Hey,
vocals
Chicago
out.
has a new song out. It's actually the first thing I've liked from them in a while.
Wait, what? I didn't think any of them were alive.
Yeah, everyone but Terry Cap is still alive. But
Sorry.
there's only 3 members of the original band, 2 horn players and Robert Lamb playing piano that still tour. They've pretty much had, in the last 5 years, had a complete switch of the rest of the band because
They were all 85 years old.
late 70s. But Bill
I
Champlin
exaggerated, but not much.
Yeah, Bill Champlin. I mean, they started in 1967, so they've been touring for almost 55 years.
That's crazy.
But Bill Champlin left in 2009, and he started in the band in '82 with Chicago 16. And then Jason Sheff, who replaced Peter Cetera in '86, left the band in 2016. And then Jeff Coffey, who apparently is a friend of a friend, left the band. He replaced Jason Sheff, but he left like 2 years after that. So I'm not even sure who the current high tenor is for the band.
They should just scrap that whole high tenor sound and just have like a baritone or like.
Well, they usually have 2 baritones and a tenor usually.
Yeah, but just as a
Robert Lamb's kind of
as a lead singer.
Well, that's the thing. They always have 3 lead singers. That's why they're always been awesome.
Do they sing simultaneously?
Yep, they sing usually as a duet. Listen to A Hard Habit to Break. You got Peter Cetera going, I guess I thought we'd be here. And then you have Bill Champlin coming in. I was acting as if you were
Yeah. No wonder it's so damn.
It's
addictive.
musical. Yeah,
It's
it's
musical.
really
Yeah, it's like the umami. It's not exactly sweet, not exactly sour, not exactly savory, not exactly salty. It's all the things.
Yeah.
So Chicago was like MSG.
and they've done that from the beginning too. There's always been multiple. I mean, think of Saturday in the Park. You got mostly Robert Lamb, but will you help him change? Or can you dig it? Yes, I can. Peter Cetera coming in there. So yeah,
You
it's
get
always
the
been
hottest DJ in the game coming through your speakers.
that's not us. maybe not me anyway.
I think
know,
it's
you might be the hottest DJ,
just because I was sweating.
Yeah. Well, you are wearing a jacket, don't you live? Oh, it's a vest.
Yes. Yes, it's a vest. It's my Han Solo esque vest.
So have you watched Obi-Wan at all?
No, I
It's
I
like
don't know.
Jeff and I need to kick you off or something if you haven't watched it. You've lost your dork creds.
Yeah. Why didn't I? Let me think. Oh, Monday, Tuesday, I had my youngest here because the playhouse is a couple blocks away from me. So that mixed up my week a little bit. I worked from home for a couple days, those couple days. I think I was planning on watching it Friday because I was thinking the kids were going to go with Lisa for stuff. Now, it actually wasn't my plan. I was going to kick back and, have some me time and not do anything because I don't usually broadcast on Fridays because I get my kids. And then, that was all interrupted too. So that changed. Hi, Dad. Apparently we're here for a week. I don't have my medications or my clothes. Haley's like, I'm out of gas. Mom made me drive my car. I don't have gas money or my wallet. Oh, yay. Welcome, family. So maybe tonight, what are they, hour long, 40 minutes?
Yeah, 40 to 42 an hour. There's 3 episodes so far. Next one comes out Wednesday.
I actually have a good idea. I could probably get my Hannah's the Star Wars, the resident Star Wars fan. She's the one that whenever something new comes out, she's like, Father, we must go. Like, the other two are like, I don't really care. I don't like Star Trek that much anyway. What the F?
You've failed as a parent, clearly.
I know. It's not like I didn't expose them to it. They just didn't take to it. It's kind of like Hunter never played with toys. Ever.
Jake's kind of the same way.
Just wasn't into it.
Although he does, like, he enjoys the Harry Potter. He read the Harry Potter books, all of them, twice in 1 year.
It's impressive.
Yeah. And then
I read the first Harry Potter, and then I picked up the second, and my brain said, dude, you got better things to do with your time.
But yeah, Ella just completely, I mean, we were at the Nashville Comic-Con this weekend, and she dressed up.
Yeah, she's a chip off of your block, right?
Yeah.
That's cool. At least you got one, right?
Spinning on the ones and twos. You're now rocking with your favorite DJ. It's about to get hot.
Make it hot. Let's go, man.
Turn that shit up. Taking it back in the day with another old school banger.
Wow.
Atomic Dork Squad. You feel inspired?
I feel so inspired.
Good. So, let me see what Mark Jeske is up to. He must be busy. He didn't read my messages. Whatever. I don't need him. Fuck that guy. I didn't mean to curse. I apologize. I forgot we were doing this together. So, a couple things we can do. We can do a react video to some Star Wars universe bloopers, mistakes, pratfalls, etc. Or do you follow any Star Wars nerds on YouTube? Any content creators specifically?
I don't know if I necessarily follow him, but I do see New Rock Stars a lot of his videos, which he does a lot of Marvel, and he covers basically all nerddom.
I found a guy who does Star Wars lore, I think, or Star Wars lore and legends, or comes up with either alternate theory. Seemed pretty good. His stuff is not very long, it's 3-4 minutes. I thought we can dig into something like that for point of discussion. Or
sure.
you want to watch a play about teenage suicide. We did that. We did that yesterday on yesterday's show. Between John, Missy, and I, we were all crying. But Missy, who she goes to like a online like Zoom therapy, and she's vice president of one of these groups that yeah, just I guess group therapy. She actually asked Hannah if she would be willing to basically allow her organization to use the play, either in the version that we recorded with our phones, or the script for people who like to read, or if we wanted to come up with an alternate way of getting that across, like animation. She wanted to know if she would think about releasing copyright to allow them to use it as a resource for those who are in group who are feeling they're kind of at the edge. And she said people react differently to different types of not everybody reacts to, oh, I know you feel like killing yourself, but just don't do it. She said the message was so solid for what Hannah wrote and had produced as a play. Sorry, I didn't give any background to anybody else. If you watch Shelf Elf Show, then you know what I'm talking about. My daughter had she had a story that she wrote that was autobiographical about a young lady who is despondent over an abusive relationship, her parents getting divorced and being mean sometimes, and yeah, and she as part of her growth, when she had gone through some issues where she was despondent and feeling like she wanted to end it, she wrote it out as a story, and then a couple of years later it winds up that she's encouraged, she lets her theater teacher, I think, read it, and he says this should be a play, this is amazing. So they got submitted anonymously, and on the state there was like 300 entrants, 7 got picked just based on content to be produced, and hers is one of the 7. So she became a playwright. She went from her story turned into a play, and then we watched it this week. I saw it yesterday. Mom saw it on Friday. It's emotional because she picks out these moments where we act like jerks, and it's no doubt my character actually calls her a dirt worshiper, which is what I call my little pagan daughters when I'm like, Jesus loves you and you're still saved, right? So I just want to remind you of that. He's ready for when you're ready to come back. So he's still in your heart, whether he's in your head or not. Little fucking dirt worshippers. She had me in the play say that she had the character of me, who was much thinner and younger than I am, so it's not believable. But
the direction, can you do that with a little more obnoxiousness?
Yeah. I was gonna talk to the kid afterwards. Do you think you did this justice? I've never. Who are you? I'm the asshole dad in this play. Oh, I can tell. But she has me say this is the only part. I don't like to take anybody's truth away from them, because your truth is your truth. It's what's in your head and it's what you remember. But she quoted me as saying, you're going to go to hell, right? Because you're gay. And I have never once said that ever in my life, ever. That's the only part I took umbrage to. After, not even right away, just last night, I was like, I just want to clarify something, that it doesn't mean there's not doesn't mean I didn't say something to invoke that feeling in you, because you had me use religion and faith to bash you over the head a little bit. I said, so whatever you felt, So that's my bad as a parent if I wasn't expressing it correctly. I said, but I don't believe that. Jesus was the savior of the whores and the prostitutes and the lepers and the downtrodden. And, you know, he loved everybody and he showed everybody the way. So I said, I would be a hypocrite. Now, I said, one thing I did say is, I don't care if you guys are gay, as long as you're happy, you're healthy, and, you know, you got a good head on your shoulders. I love who you love. We're not going to talk about that. I'm like, I don't expect a teenager is not jumping into a young teen is not jumping into bed with people. So, you know, we'll talk about that. That's a separate issue. You can label yourself whatever you think you feel. I don't really care about that part. We'll figure out the other thing as that becomes a part of your life. And you'll find out that you're not gay, which is weird. But the thing I said, as long as you guys don't come to me and tell me, this was 2018, I said this, as long as you don't come to me and say, I identify as some fucking thing. I don't give a fuck what you think you identify as. This is true. Now, this is funny because now my youngest is like, I'm trans. I'm like, no, you're not. You're a girl. I don't care. You're not. You're 14. You got some creativity issues, and you got maybe some, you know, some mental issues that we're working through. Let's just say you got enough labels already. You don't have a wiener. You're not going to have one. You're going to grow out of this. So I'm not calling you anything different. So I was like, let me clarify. I'm telling Hannah, who claims to be a boy, as she's wearing a poodle skirt and a blouse and drinking boba tea with me. Oh, dude, as a trans man, you dress like a girl. Hannah, she doesn't get mad when I dead name her either. And her little Eli, who's Ellie, whose pronouns are they and them. She, he, they, staying the night again tonight. I'm having boba tea with these two young ladies who have alternate pronouns and whatever. And I said, girls, listen, I'm not intolerant, and I don't ever use my faith to beat people up, because that's the wrong way to handle it. I do, however, think that I probably did talk shit about the trans people, because I think they're all a bunch of weirdos. Because I'm telling them, oh, we're having boba. And I said, you know, so if you're gonna make me a bully in a play about, you know, someone who commits suicide because their dad is unreasonable, make it because you're trans, or make it because of the trans thing. Because I did talk a lot of shit. I said, if you say you're a hamster, I'm not going to respect that. I don't care. I don't care what you think. What you think is not reality. Reality is you're going to get out of high school, and the rest of the world does not give a crap about this thing that you think is important. I promise you. It will keep you out of jobs. It will keep you out of everything. I said, so anyways, do you understand that, kids? They're like, we just wanted to have boba with you. Gosh.
Hold on just a second.
Okay, go ahead.
Mute here.
Why are you so intolerant? I'm not intolerant. I'm phobic. Happy Pride Month, everybody. Atomic Dork Squad.
It's your boy, always spitting that exclusive fire. The game will never be the same.
Wow,
Bring that beat back. You're now rocking. You're in the mix with your favorite DJ.
Welcome back.
Wow. So are these the things you used to play at work?
Get ready to turn up. Your DJ is going in. Don't fight the urge to let your head bounce to the beat.
Beat. So editing for DJ sound effects is not a simple process. It's not as simple as, maybe there are plugins now. Maybe you can get some VST plugins that'll do the stutter chop and the echo. But to make it sound the way it does, have the sound bounce back and forth, beat. You're taking a stereo file wave, and then you're offsetting just a little bit on one channel. to have it balanced. And if that stutter, taking it back, you're literally in like cut the paste, 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 and then you have to blend those together. So it gives you that staccato thing. Do you know of any plugins? I don't know of audio plugins that will just go like stutter.
No, but I mean, it's not difficult digitally though.
No, because it's literally like isolate that sound and then cut, or like
you can just slice it
paste
on either side of that, and then just take that one little slice that you did, copy and paste it.
Multiple. It's not difficult. But it's classic, like old school, and they used to do it on tape.
Yeah, cutting tape and
yeah. I started on linear editing, just doing like 2-track linear editing, which was fun. Then we got a computer called a Mac at the college, and we got this program called Pro Tools. $30,000.
And every time they come out with a new version, you have to buy new hardware because old hardware doesn't work with the new version. That's why I'm one of the reasons I'm anti Pro Tools.
I don't like it either. I don't like. It was good to learn on because it was actually
and it's kind of industry standard, although becoming less so as people realize they have to buy new stuff. But the people who are Pro Tools are usually the kind of people who are pro Mac as well. So
right, they tend to go hand in hand, and they're like, well, I'm
it's the best, it's the standard, so you got to do it that way. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, I bought Sonar for $150 and it never crashes on me, and it works with any hardware that I want.
Right. So, yeah, it's amazing. Freeware and shareware. It's incredible what Audacity can do.
Oh yeah.
It's free. It's always going to be free. Like,
well, Cakewalk is also free now.
Yes.
Which Cakewalk makes Sonar, but
some Cakewalk.
Some Korean company bought Cakewalk a few years ago, and they made some of the stuff free.
And Labs. There's a lot of good programs out there.
Yeah.
I like Serato DJ. That's fun. You ever use any of the DJ apps?
Honestly, if I was a Mac person, I would just use Logic. I actually had a version of Logic for PC before it was ever released, before the Apple bought it.
Wow.
Because I had this little Roland mixer thing plug in. It was the interface, and then it connected to the computer, and it was Logic RPC. I probably still have a copy of it somewhere, but why I would use it, I don't know.
Well, it's amazing what they emulate on Linux systems. I've always wanted to just have a Linux only box, and I've done it in iterations because you can basically, there are all these custom builds. So if you don't want Linux is a open source shareware alternative that works in lieu of Windows and in lieu of Mac OSs. It's its own thing. So it came out about the same early 90s, I'm guessing, maybe late 80s, as an alternative to Windows, so you didn't have to be captive. So there's all these different versions that are already out there, or you can custom build your own. You decide what it is you want, and it's you can get state of the art free. Everything's free, state of the art stuff. If you're interested in computer hacking, kind of the gray hat stuff, or even malicious, the best pen testing hacking software is Linux based, and it's called Kali, Khali, like Kali. Kali Linux build. It's everything you need to hack anything you want, and it's crazy because it's free. I set up a box just so I can explore what was available on that, and I was like, holy crap. Man in the middle attacks, a rubber ducky attacks, which is like taking a USB and having it programmed so you can jack it into somebody's computer. It'll basically insert itself into the network, collects keystrokes, passwords, everything. Like, it's crazy the stuff that's available. It's crazy the stuff that they have that you can put on a cell phone. You can root a cell phone and have all those hacking tools, and you can just you could stand in the middle of your neighborhood if that's what you wanted to do, and pick up everybody's Wi-Fi signals and then start brute force attacking. Like, it is not complicated to be a bad guy. Somebody had to create that. So I mean, how do you fight the bad guys? You have to know exactly how that stuff works. That's why it's open source and it's for anybody to use. Because if you don't know what it is the bad guys are using, then how are you ever going to protect your system against it? So believe it or not, you can give somebody Pandora's box, and not everyone's going to open it. Most people aren't wired to do it. If you said, look, the secrets to web hacking and looking at anything you want and probably stealing anything you want is right here on this thumb drive. You can plug it in and you can look if you'd like or not. And it's not a large percentage of people who feel even comfortable enough having that power in their hand, which is a testament to, I don't know, was it Locke that said man is inherently good and Rousseau said man is inherently evil? But we kind of know that we have potential for both. People tend to sway towards the good, though. They don't like the power. No, they don't want the power of evil. You can do evil things. Me, though, yes, I like it, but not to do anything bad. My morbid curiosity is, how does it work? I hear these terms, man in the middle attack. What is that? It's when you get between a internet service providers or a transmitted signal like a Wi-Fi signal or Bluetooth, and you become a collection point. You can create an SSID, which is your Wi-Fi name. You can go to the Tucson International Airport and you can have a program on your phone that transmits a fake SSID that says Tucson International Airport free Wi-Fi. Bink. And people will get off their planes and either their phones will connect automatically because you don't realize that you're allowing your stuff to connect automatically, or people will be like, hey, signal in here's bad. Let's see if they have any Wi-Fi. Oh, there's free Wi-Fi. They'll click on it, and now that it connects to you or your device, or your device could be remote. You could be 50 miles away, 100 miles away, 1,000 miles away. It doesn't matter. Now you become the man in the middle. Every piece of data that just transferred now comes to you. You're the hub. That's scary as hell, isn't it?
Yeah. Definitely is.
That's some Dork Squad riff for you right there. We're dorks. Computer
that's
nerd
right.
stuff.
All right, so that's actually crossed over to geek.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. So you don't want to talk about Obi-Wan?
Not without Jeff. Since you haven't watched it, it's really hard to talk about it with you.
Connor told Jeff that I look like Obi-Wan.
Yeah, kids are crazy.
Ewan McGregor is a handsome guy.
I went to Point Loma with a cousin of his. I can't remember. William was his first name. I don't remember his last name. Of course,
Willie.
But I've been trying to find that guy. That guy isn't. McGregor wasn't his last name. It was like Williamson. I think his name was like William Williamson or something like that.
Why are parents so mean?
Yeah, right. Scottish parents.
Seriously. You want to look at the Star Wars theory?
Yeah, we can look at a Star Wars theory.
Well, analyze it, see what.
And I can tell them why they're wrong.
Seriously?
Seriously?
Yes. All right, let me look at the YouTubes. I mentioned before I have 19 rats, right?
Yes, you took us on a tour.
Well,
I can't remember if that was live or if that was before we launched, but it was something.
Well, we have 20 rats now. There was one rat that I would film. I would be here recording it because I'd be watching the rats or streaming the rats on 19 Rats and Counting. I shouldn't have picked that name for Twitch and the YouTube. And I'd see this black and white rat come around by the other rats and, get some food on the floor. And it's like going between the cages. I'm like, where the F did this one come from? It looks bigger than the young ones, but smaller than the older ones. Obviously from the same brood. I think it was when I nuked the entire family and thought I got them all. I think this might have been a remnant who somehow was living in my house. Well, we trapped her yesterday. It's a her. Hers are so much better. They're very soft and silky. Handled her immediately. She actually got into the food container because the lid was not on it. She was in the rat food container eating, and Hunter comes out of the bathroom and was like, oh, there it is. Because he saw it go into the bedroom, and he's like, Dad, I think there's a loose rat. I said, there's one. It's elusive. I can't catch it. You want me to get a glue trap or a snap trap? You want to kill it with me? Let's see if we can not do that. Well, we have 19 already. We don't need another one. Well, Dad, I caught the rat. I was like, you're brave. How'd you do it? Well, it was inside the container, so I just put a book on top of it. You're not brave. But thank you for taking the opportunity and not squealing and running away. So no rat droppings, showing up in the kitchen or something or wherever. Like, that's nice. I started taking bleach to the entire house. I'm like, here we go. Now that everyone's either dead or captive, and start sanitizing.
Of course, you still have the 20.
They are in cages. They're so cute. 5 girls, 15 boys. Yeah. Those girls, they know they're girls too. And they know those musky boys next door. Oh, they walk by and they're like, yeah, you like this? And they like shake their booties at them. It's like they're like cartoon characters. Y'all want to get raped? Just keep it up. No such thing as consent when you're a rat. Do you talk to your pets like that, or is that just a me thing?
So all you. I mean, is anything in there sound like me? I don't.
No. If you ever sounded like that, I would imagine that I'd be like, I must have had a stroke and died. An aneurysm. Bink. How do you know you died and gone to hell? Because there's a Daniel in hell that talks like a Jeff Adams. Oh, it's not real, guys. It's not real. Seems comfortable and familiar. No, you're going to the fire.
She got you more rat. You got some of those rats came from Kaylee. Kaylee, all right. I can't. I'm looking at the chat. Maybe I shouldn't have gotten you more rats.
Oh, we have a chat function?
I'm watching it. I've got a Twitch open.
Oh, I always forget about that. Hi.
Where do you think you're live streaming to? I'm just talking. I don't even know if it goes out there.
Isn't it chat.restream.io to get into?
I don't know. Are you even not using Restream?
Yeah.
Usually you send us a link to Restream, and
yeah, I had been, and then did you see my hello?
I did.
Kaylee, future Mrs. Gray. Oh, hey, what's up? What's up, Kaylee? Kaylee had a baby. I didn't even know she was pregnant.
Is that why she gave you rats?
Yeah, seriously. No, she is vice president of a shelter. The shelter had 3 rats that they wanted. Somebody had 3 rats they wanted to give to the shelter. They didn't have anyone to foster. I took them. 2 girls, 1 boy. The boy, Nicodemus, I named him. He's just a wharf rat. He's huge black one. Huge. He looks like what a rat looks like Halloween.
Like a secret in him.
Yeah, vicious. He bit the crap out of my daughter twice. I said, Hunter, hey, the black rat, I think he was tortured by little kids because I was able to go scruff him and pick him up, cuddle with him. The kids got close. He bit that both of them. Hunter, I go, Hunter, the rat bit Hannah twice. Like she didn't believe it the first time. He got into the couch and she's reaching into the dark trying to find him. She got nipped, and then she went in again, and then he she bled. So I'm like, just FYI, I don't think he likes little people. And I know you're a man, but technically you might look like one of his enemies. He goes, oh, okay. He goes, hey, little guy. Oh, Jesus, Dad. I go, what? He goes, he bit me. So why the fuck did you put your finger in here? Did I just tell you? I just told you. And he goes, I know. I don't know how he got his nose and his little hands through like the bars, but he literally reached through, grabbed my hand and pulled it and then bit me. He goes, he's vicious. I'm like, he's gonna become snake food.
Speaking of Secrets of Nim, I was talking to John Pomeroy yesterday, who was one of the founders of the Don Bluth company that made Secrets of Nim. He was a former Disney animator, actually works for Disney again, does stuff for them. He was the lead animator for Milo on Atlantis and basically told people how to draw Milo. But him and then Tom Bancroft and his twin brother, which I can't remember his twin brother's name, but like 3 current Disney animators teach at Lipscomb University, which is where my kids go to the high school of. I was like, geesh. And plus the Mike Norwalkie, who's the voice of Larry the Cucumber from VeggieTales, also teaches there in the animation school. I'm like, man, if you want I do. Yeah. I mean, I'm glad they have some good teachers like that, since we paid so much money for the high school to have Trent Dilfer as the high school football coach.
Who's that?
He was for the Buccaneers. He played for the Buccaneers.
Okay. So are you bragging right now? Is that what you're doing?
A little bit, yeah. I was just impressed. I mean, it's not. I'm not gonna. I doubt either of my kids will go to the university. That's definitely not for animation, but still, it's just pretty cool that, as I saw, I had met John Pomeroy at the ICCC convention I did that I worked at a few weeks ago, and then saw him yesterday, and it was a small convention, so I was talking to him, and they had just done a little panel, and they were talking about how pretty much everybody up on stage worked at Lipscomb University. I was like, geesh, kind of want to go there for animation. Not that I can draw, but still.
Do you have to draw to be an animator these days?
I mean, not completely. There's you could be a compositor, which is what I have done a lot of at home. So
does that mean stealing other people's stuff?
No, it means combining 3D images, or combining the images to make it look more realistic, and like taking a character drawing and putting it into a background that's been 3D rendered and layering it to give it depth. And it's pretty, that's basically what HitFilm and After Effects are for, is they're 3D compositors.
Oh,
it's kind of like, how Walt Disney created that camera that goes, the plane camera that goes through the different planes of cells and creates 3D. It's kind of like doing the same thing. You can do that really easily in 3D with that. You can take a 2D picture and make it 3D just by cutting out different layers and moving them back and forward in 3D space, and then putting a virtual camera through them. Now we got back into geek instead of dork.
Yeah, we're still in geek. Atomic Geek Squad.
Yeah,
we'll fix your computer.
I did work for the Geek Squad for 3 months before I got my current
that
job.
makes sense. Yeah. How was your soul afterwards? Like,
I really liked the job. If they had paid better, I would have probably not left. Because I came from live events. I was unemployed for 7 months, and I'm like, I got to get back to work. I'm tired of not working, so I applied to that. And then, like I said, and my partner actually worked at Best Buy, works with me now at M3. So I got the job, and then I
didn't know you were
him
gay.
for the job.
Happy Pride Month.
So anyway, Daniel, his name is also Daniel. So we would it was fun going to people's houses and going, "Hi, I'm Daniel, and this is Daniel."
Hi, my name is Larry. It's my brother Daryl. My other brother Daryl.
So yeah, but I got the job with M3, and like 2 months later or 3 months later, he got the job with M3. He's on site at Bridgestone though, and I'm on site at HCA, so I don't ever see him other than our Monday meetings on WebEx.
Are your Monday meetings on Monday?
They are generally, although last week it was on Tuesday because it was Monday was the day off.
Star Wars theory. We're going to utilize this YouTube channel to spark some discussion. So I don't have their permission to use their stuff, so whatever. They have 134,000 views of this one clip that's like 2.5 minutes long, and well, if I guess we can give them 4 more views. So Tom with Dork.
Well, it counts as one view though, right?
We're a cash cow. No, everybody else can go to Star Wars Theory. I'll put the link. We'll we'll give them a couple more cents, maybe. They might get like a penny per click. You never know. They might be big time. Big time. All right, you might get a little bit of an echo because I'm going to share screen. So just heads up. All right, lucid chart. That's handy. I use that. Come on, lucid chart. You got this.
You tried pushing play?
Yeah, I did.
Chart makes intelligent diagramming easy and helps your best ideas become real.
George Lucas explains why Yoda talks backwards. Wow.
Hey guys, have you ever wondered why Yoda talks the way he does? Well, turns out there's actually an answer that George Lucas has given in Paul Duncan's Star Wars Archives book. The book writes, Lucas also created Yoda's distinctive diction.
Away put your weapon. Ah, yes, harm I mean you not, young friend. Away put it.
Paul Duncan asks, how did you come up with the way Yoda speaks? Where George says, mostly, we had these strange languages and voices that were created out of foreign languages. I didn't want to go through a whole movie where everybody's reading subtitles. He had a lot of dialogue. So I had to come up with a language that was alien, but still understandable. So I reversed everything around. The language was designed to make you focus on the boring philosophical lessons. And that's all George actually has to say about Yoda's speech. And now that I really think of it, Yoda's basic caveman style way of speaking, reversed way of speaking, really does highlight his prominent philosophical points. By simply taking out basic grammar, Yoda really hits home his direct message without, making it too long.
Truly wonderful the mind of a child is.
Instead of saying, a child's mind is truly a wonderful thing or something like that, it just is a little more basic, it's a little more childlike in itself, and it's almost like a caveman. And this is something I always really liked about George, is that he goes into such great detail about everything, not just the way a character looks or what their backstory may be, but even down to their speech and how they talk. And I really appreciate the fact that he didn't want us to have to read the entire time that Yoda speaks, because could you imagine that in the prequels? It just wouldn't have flowed really well, and then everyone would have to understand what Yoda was saying, so it's like everyone has some sort of a course in Yoda's language, and then Grogu, of all things, would basically have to speak that language unless he learned English or something else. So that's what George has to say about Yoda's speech and why he gave him that kind of a speech pattern, reversing everything around. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Please go check out Duncan's Star Wars Archives book.
I guess. What's to discuss? What's your point of view?
Well, it's funny. I think that it was. I think George Lucas, what George Lucas had said was absolutely correct, but I don't think his interpretation of Yoda's language as being caveman-like is very true. It sounds like someone who speaks another language is trying to speak English.
Yeah, caveman would take away. You would think would take away complexity of thought.
Yeah, and he's not changing grammar so much as that he's putting things in the wrong place, but he's still using all the same words he would.
Yeah.
It's just some of them are in different place. The verb and the descriptor, the adjective are in different places.
Right. It's basically like applying Latin rules of conjugation
Yeah.
to English. So, like think of Spanish or in French and any of your romantic languages. You don't say, can I have, please, what do you say? Hold on.
Please, can I have?
Me das, no, not me das, quiero una cerveza, una más cerveza or una cerveza más. It would say, please give me a beer more. So you would say una cerveza más. Más is going to come at the end. And it's basically he's talking. He's just changing the order.
Yeah. It's like the quote he started with: "Away, put your weapon. I mean you no harm." Put away your weapon. I mean you no harm.
It's not rocket science.
Mm-mm.
They have a ton. There's like 62 videos, I think, just on Obi-Wan.
On the new one?
It's just trying to get past it. I'm scrolling. Let me go to playlist. Supercuts, compilations. Let me, am I still sharing screen? Can you see it?
Nope. You're not sharing anymore.
No, I'm not. Here, okay, I'll share the whole screen. Wiki. So these are the playlists. Star Wars Theory, breakdowns, fan fictions, books, news, fan films, lore, podcasts, animations, collectible reviews, comics, gaming. I don't know. Let's see. Do they have different channels too? Okay, those are channels that are like playlists. Supercuts, compilations, and/or view full playlist, watch parties. Once Upon a Theory, full playlist. Let's see what's in here. All Once Upon a Theory Star Wars episodes animated. What?
No idea.
I don't know what it is. Let's take a look. Hey, do you need 100
hit loops for
only $3? I'm
the
the
hit
one.
loops too?
I'm the one who buys these.
They clearly know that.
Obviously. I'm like, I'll click through. Let me check that out. And then I find out, like, where do you guys hide all this stuff? Because I'm just going to go in and screen grab it and then convert it and then rip it and then take the pesky tone that they played in order to make it sound like in order to protect their intellectual property. And I take that away too. And then I repackage it and then I sell it myself, claim it to be my own. I learned that from China.
Can you make something that really slaps? Let's dive into it.
I can, because I stole your shit already.
Oh,
ooh, fresh.
My inspiration is just.
That's laggy.
Good, Anakin. Good. Kill him. Kill him now.
Are we super laggy?
Yeah, that is. It seems like it's sharing differently too. It looks like last time it wasn't. I didn't take over my whole screen.
Bear with me un momento. We will make it suck less.
So I went this last Wednesday and saw Leonid and Friends. I don't know if you've seen them on YouTube, but they are a Russian Chicago Earth, Wind, and Fire cover band. Oh. And they make their recordings that they've done on YouTube are like note for note perfect of the original recordings, other than a few Russian accents coming through here and there. And then they were playing here in Nashville, so we went down and saw them, and they were great. Great performance. Look them up on YouTube, Leonid and Friends.
Leonid?
Yeah, they have a new guy who's he's Indian, he sings the high tenor parts, the Peter Cetera parts, and but he was actually, he comes from a gypsy family, and just the most incredible, I mean, an incredible voice. He's only sings on their most recent recording they did, which was a Tower of Power song.
How is it that how do cover bands like not have to pay licensing? Like how does that work?
I think that in some of those cases they share revenue, because I remember seeing something about that, but I think that on YouTube they share revenue because they're basically they are using a copyrighted piece, but doing it themselves. Although it's tough with them basically recreating the album, the song note for note, as far as the band's concerned.
Yeah.
I don't know, but they clearly have made enough to get enough followers and tour the United States.
No, I think what you said sounds familiar. That revenue sharing, they basically, you come to an agreement with as long as they feel like you're representing, their brand well enough that revenue share.
Because that's basically what's his face. The kid that became famous after being on from YouTube. That baby that one.
Oh, Bieber.
Yeah, Justin Bieber, because he was making money on YouTube before all that, just by doing covers.
That was before they had the bots traveling. The bots are amazing how fast now they can pick up.
Oh yeah, I will.
Two
When I
notes.
post one of my vacation videos, I will have, before I can close the video, I'll have a copyright hit from the Disney music. I'm on those cases. I mean, I'm not even making those public. Those are, I have them so I can share them with my family or whatever, or
Right.
watch them myself.
Oh,
But
and they
you can't-
already.
you can't search. Yeah, you can't even search and find my vacation videos. Although it's funny, I have one that it used to. I mean, they used to be public before I was starting to do some stuff with my YouTube video. But I had one of our trip to Myrtle Beach in 2017, and it has almost 2,000 views on it. And I'm like, why are people watching my Myrtle Beach? I guess because it said Myrtle Beach 2017, and
That's crazy.
Yeah, I one day went in there, it was like 600 views, and then I checked it the other day, it was at 1.8 thousand views.
That's weird. It's like something you did,
Yeah,
like triggered the algorithm to push you in front of a bunch of people.
but I've got more Disney vacation videos than I do Myrtle Beach. In fact, I have footage. We went to Myrtle Beach in 2015. I never made a video. I was thinking I need a project. I think that's what I need to do is edit that. We spent a week in the Smokies and then a week at Myrtle Beach for vacation. That was a fun vacation.
Myrtle Beach. Who's it named after?
Myrtle.
Nice.
Actually, it's Dr. Beach. It's named
Oh.
after Dr. Beach.
Ow.
That's the Jungle Cruise Schweitzer Falls joke.
I just realized my fat belly was pressing my belt buckle into my pubis area, and I was like, God, I feel like I can't breathe. This whole time I feel uncomfortable. And I've got this big metal belt buckle that was like literally cutting through my groin area.
I've
You guys
been
wanna see?
losing weight by playing badminton with the family.
Oh, okay.
Play badminton
What
every
is
night.
badminton?
It's like tennis, only with a little birdie.
The shuttlecock.
Yes, also known as.
Yeah.
But yeah, I realized that my belt, I'm at the last loop of my belt right now. So I'm gonna have to buy a new one soon.
Because it's getting smaller.
The belly is, yes.
Good.
But I've got, through my health insurance, I get my Apple Watch and they pay for it as long as I hit my calorie burned per day, which is supposed to hit 710 calories burned a day. And just at work from walking between the buildings, I go like about 450. And then I come home and play an hour of badminton and running and all over the yard, hitting it. And
Yeah,
we've gotten pretty competitive because we're all decent at it for the most part. Kids are a little better than the parents, but still.
Yeah. What badminton to me reminds me of people getting attacked by bees.
Because you can't see the bird.
Just watch from that perspective. You'd run over here, it's wild swing. Yeah,
We're a little more confident in our swings than that.
just
Or like hunting bees.
tomorrow when you're playing, watch for when somebody looks like they've been attacked by bees. That doesn't mean every swing, but you're gonna have that moment where you're gonna laugh out loud because their coordination is gonna be off. They're gonna get ahead of themselves a little bit. They're gonna pivot funny, and they're gonna.
It is funny when it goes right at them. I do find that funny every time because there's no way you can react correctly at that point.
You got this small surface area and this long. You can't, if it comes right at your face. You literally, your reaction would have to be to drop your hand completely down in order to protect your face, and your reaction is never that.
Right.
Up. It's human nature. You're like, look, you should talk Jake into it. Look, I need you to master this move. So when the birdie's zooming at your face, wax off, not wax on. Do you understand? Down. Just trust me. You will block and parry every time. I don't think I want to do that, Dad. Trust me. Your instinct is going to be to protect yourself, but all you need is the racket. So down, okay? I don't want to do it. Come on. Help your dad.
Well, see, it's probably me more than anything because Jake likes to spike it.
Oh.
And so he'll spike it and it'll go. I had one today. You just go right past my head. I'm like, oh.
So then that's your homework.
Yeah.
Master that. It's like the no move. Dad, how'd you do that? The force.
It's true. Fact check true.
The dynamic duo, aren't we? The fuck. All right. We're going to look at top 7 lightsaber colors and meanings. Apparently. Let's you want to take a look at that, and then we'll wrap it up and we'll go to bed.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Can you see it?
I see rats.
Wrong screen.
Oh, you're one of those people.
What?
Look at all those icons on your desktop.
How about now?
Yep, I see Luke with a green lightsaber, with Vader about to hit him with the lightsaber.
Perfect. Yeah.
I remember the original trailer on TV for the Return of the Jedi and seeing that lightsaber. They used that as a cut between two elements.
Nice.
I remember seeing that in the trailer as a kid.
Here we go.
Your volume's off.
Saber, what color would your crystal turn for you? Comment your color in the comments right now.
Might be yellow like pee.
It's a guardian.
Now, here's a video I've been wanting to do since the channel's birth, but just felt like everyone already knew the answer, and there are so many videos like this on YouTube that I felt that it's just no point doing it. But much to my surprise, it doesn't really seem to be as known as I thought. Do you all remember being a little kid after watching Star Wars, imagining that you had a lightsaber? I'm sure everyone here can relate. What color was your lightsaber? For me, it was always green or red. Well, in this video, we'll finally learn the different colors that are in canon, coupled with what they mean. Now, the new canon explains lightsabers as turning the color of their user's force powers, and turning red if they are forced to bleed by the Sith. In Legends, however, the colors were sought after on different planets, awarded to the user by their skills and color preference. Now, to understand a little better before we embark on these colors, we must know why a lightsaber even emits colors. So, to begin, all lightsabers house a crystal, and this crystal starts as colorless, until the user's personality and force abilities help determine what color the crystal will emit. Now, not just any Jedi can take any crystal. If it is a match, the crystal will make a soothing hum. However, if the match isn't compatible, then it will remain frozen to the touch. Let's start this off unconventionally, here as usual on Star Wars Theory. Let's begin with purple. Now, purple is a color that wasn't supposed to exist. However, when Samuel Jackson got the part of Mace Windu, he wanted to stand out. So he asked George if he could have purple. Now, I'm sure you can guess what the answer was there. Purple signifies a user of the light that harnesses some dark side attributes and attacks, while synergistically using.
Wondering where to start?
I always wondered.
Try Malone.
Because in
Level up your
the first
skills
time
with
we saw a purple
real-time
lightsaber
feedback,
for Mace Windu
rewards,
was in
and thousands of
the video
lessons
game
made by
Jedi
pros and-
Power.
Download Melodics for free today.
And that was out before episode 2, which is when we saw his lightsaber purple the first time. Oh, and Jeff's not even there. He's disappeared. I'm talking to myself. Still, I've always wondered which came first. Look, another ad.
It all started in a volcano.
It started in a volcano.
Millions of years ago, actually, when a remarkable little microbe was born. And while it lived there undiscovered, the world's population kept growing.
Oh, there he is. He skip ad, sort of.
Using them to defeat the dark side. Just like how Mace uses Vapod, which is a variant of the 7th lightsaber fighting style, one that Darth Maul mastered as well. It allowed him to turn the dark side energy around him towards his attacker. Blue and red makes purple, the perfect balance. Now, Disney still has yet to reveal how Mace Windu made his purple lightsaber, since they're extremely rare, which will require some backtracking, but I'm sure it'll be done at some point, at least hopefully. Next up, we'll cover blue.
What do you think? Mace Windu, purple.
I think that's. You didn't hear me say it, but the first time Jedi Power Battles, that was the name of the game. That was the first time we saw Mace Windu's lightsaber is purple. But they have several of the books. There's a book called Shatterpoint where Mace Windu he does kind of use that dark side energy, but he can also see the exact point in someone's form or whatever that is their weakness and can basically shatter their defense after that. So I definitely agree with that. And most of these things, a lot of the colors really come from the Knights of the Old Republic game, as far as what they mean. The Knights of the Old Republic game that's being remade currently.
Oh. Must be fun to take a Star Wars and create canon, create lore, like explain everything, then have it generally accepted to be true. Are there examples of people who've come in and ruined?
I mean,
lore.
I'm not completely convinced that J.J. Abrams didn't have some lore issues with powers, like the whole stopping time and the blaster bolt in the air type thing. Or
wait, tell me about that.
It's in it started in The Force Awakens, very first scene. Kylo Ren he shoots at Kylo Ren, and Kylo Ren just stops the bolt in midair and holds it there.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I remember now. I guess it didn't dawn on me that was something unique.
Yeah, I never loved that. The healing one didn't bother me because there was Jedi healers in Legends, and it was very similar, so that didn't bother me. And then some of in the Rise of Skywalker, the whole dyad thing with the basically killing yourself to save another person by using the Force was an odd choice as well.
Yeah, self-sacrifice.
Yeah,
didn't really seem like it goes with the. Yeah,
I mean, you basically had to have Ben Solo die in that movie. Otherwise, he's got a lot of war crimes. He's gonna never see the light of day of jail.
Right. What's blue? What's the meaning behind blue?
Blue defender. I want to say it's more of a duelist, I believe.
Now, this color is used by most Jedi as it's symbolic of guardians and protectors of the peace. They're like the warriors of the Jedi Order, by far the most well-rounded of all the Jedi, good at everything but master of none. Now, blue lightsabers are yet to be further explained by canon in Star Wars as to how a Jedi turns it blue instead of green, but in Legends, the blue crystal was abundant on the planet Ilum. Some popular blue users were Anakin Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ki-Adi-Mundi, and Plo Koon. Although Plo Koon, if you wait a few minutes, will get to yellow, you'll also see that he had a yellow lightsaber. So basically, any Jedi Padawan before they really start to exhibit their favorable Force powers and talents would have a blue lightsaber. The next color is one of my favorites, green. Now, green was used only for those who were extremely powerful in the Force, and ones who offered a different view than other Jedi. A Jedi Consular, as they called them, typically used negotiations instead of using their weapon. However, if need be, they have no problem using it, and what a force they were to be reckoned with. In conjunction with their lightsaber training, which would start at the early age of a youngling, as they would progress and own their Force powers, creating the green blade that we see, their Force powers would definitely help them with their attacks and their fighting style. Everything from speed to acrobatics to power would be implemented against their opponent. This makes for one of the deadliest Jedi in the galaxy, as their Force powers aided their attacks.
Hey guys, this is Jeff the Solar Guy,
Hey, Jeff the
out
Solar
here
Guy.
on
Sure,
another
that's-
amazing solar
this is
panel
the other
install
Jeff.
out of
Correct.
Tucson, Arizona.
I'm not sure that's the correct description of green, though. I always thought of green is kind of more like the he kind of bounced around it. It's the religious kind of Jedi. It's much more of the one who's attuned to the Force, whereas the blue lightsaber is much more. I think he was mostly right on that with being the protector and all around, like he said, master of none of the skills, but good at all of them.
Green is more like
It's
the
that's
monk.
what, the monk almost, yeah.
That's to me what Luke represented when, in Return of the Jedi,
Yeah.
when he shows up. It was powerful imagery. Like, it was like he came out of the desert. Last time we saw him, things weren't going so good.
Yeah.
He had lost an appendage, found out some bad family history. Was a little shaken up. And then he comes into this like he'd been in the wilderness for 40 years, gaining some insight and some knowledge. I definitely like his character. I like that version of him in Return of the Jedi the best.
I liked in the Boba Fett series, or also the part of the series that was Mandalorian season 2.5. It was like 3 episodes of Grogu and Mandalorian, but when they dealt with Luke and had Ahsoka there and making the comments like so much like your father, thought that was really cool.
Wait.
You haven't watched the Boba Fett series?
I saw the Mandalorian. I thought I just watched the whole first and second season, but there was additional.
There's a Boba Fett series. It's like 8 episodes long, but like 5 episodes.
So that's different than the Mandalorian.
Yeah, it's actually about Boba Fett taking over Jabba the Hutt's. It starts with him surviving the Sarlacc.
Is it live action or is it?
Yeah, it's live action.
Really?
Came out last Christmas.
Oh,
and
shoot!
But like two of the episodes deal with the Mandalorian, and one of them actually has Luke Skywalker. They de-aged, they deep faked and de-aged and synthesized Mark Hamill's voice, and so he's actually training Grogu in the
Oh wow,
it's pretty cool. And Ahsoka Tano's there, who's Rosario Dawson, and there's a line that she says, Luke says something, and she goes, "So much like your father," since she was his father's Padawan. It was just that little throwaway line was my favorite part of the whole Boba Fett series. The Boba Fett series was just okay. It wasn't really great, but those 2 episodes were amazing.
It appears that Rosario Dawson was the inspiration for that character, Ahsoka.
Yeah.
You see her portraying that character, and you're like, I don't know how she looks any other way. It's strange.
Well, she was fan casted. Fans, which is also one of the reasons why I don't believe the whole thing that's going on with Disney right now with
the Moses character, people saying that they're racist, and even Ewan McGregor coming out. I read some of the remarks, guys, and I think that's made up.
I think it's at the most I think it could be bots or AI.
Yeah.
But knowing that Rosario Dawson was every fan's fantasy to be as Ahsoka Tano. So
knowing that Billy D. Williams as Lando Calrissian is one of the all-time favorite, coolest effing characters to pop into that ever. It just seems, I don't know.
Yeah, I and I've read criticism where they didn't like the character that Moses played, but I actually like her a lot. I don't.
Yeah.
You have to. I mean, if you're gonna complain about whiny dark people, I mean, that's pretty much the dark side, other than Sidious.
Right. Well, maybe this is
literal tantrums of smashing things with this lightsaber.
Is this Disney's way of trying to get more people to watch the show?
Interesting fact. So Disney stock has been plummeting since last October, and even worse since March, since the whole Florida thing.
Yeah.
Since that news story came out, it's gone up $10 a share.
Help me understand this.
There's that
racism creates more investments.
No, making yourself look like a
hero
who fights a hero. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Disney's defending the meek, and it's not trans or gay. Finally, it's picking BLM.
Well, there's that part of the part of the S&P that gives you ratings based off of how, I don't want to say woke, but that is basically what it's the one Elon Musk was just kicked off of. They just after he came out as being, I'm going to vote Republican, he was next day kicked off of this list.
Oh wow, there's a woke list in the S&P.
I can't remember what it's called. It's like is
it like the VIX? The VIX is the you can invest in the VIX, which is an indicator of market stability. But it changes it inversely. It's inversely proportionate to, if the economy is doing well, the VIX is low. If the economy starts trending low,
the ESG S&P ESG index.
And that's your woke indicator.
It's basically there.
So I'm not going to invest in anybody on that list.
Probably not. But but basically, the more you represent yourself to those different things,
yeah,
the more your stock is lifted up without reason, other reason. So Disney has no reason for their stock to go back up $10, other than Obi-Wan. Maybe more people subscribed to Disney Plus recently for Obi-Wan.
Those who canceled may have come back to watch it.
Yeah, but I don't think I've seen anything of mass exodus of Disney Plus like I've seen for Netflix.
Netflix had huge.
Yeah, well, I mean, a couple 100,000, which is big. I mean, I would like to have a couple 100,000 audience, but still.
Right. Well, and at the same time, they came out at first and said, we're also going to tighten up account sharing.
Yeah.
So we can force people to actually pay for the service. Well, that doesn't help your cause, because as soon as you start doing that, then you're technical. It's not necessarily going to increase your subscriber base. It's going to piss people off who are like, what is bullshit?
Yeah.
We've been doing this for 15 years. You know where the IP addresses are. You could have done this years ago.
Russell Brand actually did a video on that not too long ago, like a month ago, the whole ESG thing.
I did like Netflix coming out and saying, hey, dear employees, if Netflix is here to make movies and entertainment and make money, we're not here to support social causes. And if you have a problem with that, you can quit.
I wish more companies would have that view.
I wish they all would. It's like, unless your company specifically, your job is, if your shareholders are that group of people, then go ahead and represent that group. It makes sense to me. But stockholders' equity should not ever be impacted for a cause. That is 100%. That's against the accounting principle. That's against business principle, period.
Which is why I can't believe Disney shareholders have not demanded Bob Chapek's removal. He's very unpopular with Disney fans, even before all of this stuff he was, because he's the nickel and dime CEO.
Right. Trying to screw everybody. Yeah, not good. You don't want to, if your consumers feel like they're being screwed, that's a problem. It doesn't take much other messes like, I don't know, pedophile rings and whatnot to then get people to not want to play with you at all. You can't withstand that level of drama when people are already irritated.
Which is really weird too when you think about it, because like Disney World, like going down to Disney World, they've now limited the number of the maximum number of people in the park is smaller than it was when I went in 2016. Yet the parks feel fuller.
Right. Okay.
At the same time of them being fuller, they don't have as many, at least maybe now it's getting better now that the character interactions are back. But they're just like the last 2 times I've been there, it didn't feel like Disney to me.
You didn't have the interaction
with anybody really. It's just like you're just living your day. I mean, you order all your food through the app now. I mean, you can get in the line, but for most of your meals and snacks, you still have to talk to the people. But like 90% of the meals are through the app now.
What are they going to do now that Florida's taking away their tax exempt status and their independent nation sovereignty status?
I don't know.
That's going to be so effing much money that they're going to have to come up with. It's going to change.
I mean, it'll save them some in that they won't have to run their own police and fire stations and, and infrastructure.
But they knew the payoff. They knew the payoff. Like, look, that was what they said. Look, we'll be a self-managed, sovereign nation, and then we don't have to pay taxes. We don't have to pay like this.
Yeah, it's funny. The same people too that will get mad at corporate handouts will defend Disney over that. Can't have it both ways. Just because Disney did something you like doesn't mean they should have handouts.
Yeah, well, it's people who like the product. I like the product, so therefore handouts are acceptable. Or I worked for a company that got handouts and I kept my job. That's okay too. Or I got free X, Y, and Z. That's fine. That benefited me. If I don't have any relationship with it, then it's bad.
Yeah.
It's just virtue signaling is all it is. It's a bunch of chest pounding virtue signaling, and it's gross. I don't want to hear it. Especially most people don't even know what they're talking about in the first place.
And people buy it though. That's what's really sad. People don't see it for what it is. It's just someone going, look how good I'm doing, how much I care about people.
Right.
You don't. You can say whatever you want over here, but we see what you're doing over here.
Right. Right. Exactly. Pick a topic and be like, oh man, it depends on how what's swinging in social media. You can be like, guys, woman's right to choose, and if that's where it's going, then you're going to be on that bandwagon. You guys, children are these are babies. We need to protect them, and people will grab whatever side is going to get them likes, shares, thumbs up, whatever the f. And if it's Twitter, then it's at least 20% of bots, which are manufacturing most of it. That's crazy. I guess Elon Musk is still going through with it, even though
I hadn't heard anything recently other than he was questioning it after, or the price. He was questioning the price based off of, because he offered at this price thinking there was that many users, but if
they accepted it, then,
of them,
yeah, if he took 100 Twitter accounts, just 100, and then they checked all 100, and 20%, 20 out of 100 were fake. Like, that means that your offer is 20% higher than it should be. If they're gonna accept that, then take $8 billion off of that price tag, because there's no revenue with a bot. And that's what it is. It's revenue generating, just like anything always has been. It's the Colgate Comedy Hour was never about the hour. It was about selling toothpaste. So that's what he's buying. He's buying people butts in seats and eyes on screens. That's what he's paying for. Ultimately, he's not stupid, so he's not buying it to lose money. I believe that he's altruistic and practical. Some people are saying, well, what if this whole thing, what if he was already suspicious, like everyone has been, about how many bots have been driving everything, and this is the only way that he was able to get them to pop the hood and look underneath it and find out what was really going on and expose it. Then if it falls through, at least everybody knows. Now you just took the power away.
Except for it won't. People will go back to living their life in denial and
letting bots tell them how to think. And you're right. It's yeah.
It's
ignorance.
we have this similar discussion at work around people and microphones. You can give specific instructions on how to use a microphone to a person.
Right.
They will walk out on stage and they'll start using it to point.
Right.
Or you'll use the lavalier and you'll mic them up, and they'll walk out on stage and move it to their lapel over here, and then they'll look this way and talk. I have pictures of there's a microphone. It's like, so here's the mic, and he's standing over here and looking this way, and people were coming up to me and going, we can't hear him. Can you turn him up? It's like, no, he needs to get he can't be 4 feet away from a microphone.
Right. This dynamic mic has a certain pattern, and he's outside of it. That's all there is to it. You don't want me opening up a mic that's going to pick up the entire room.
And in this case, it was an SM58, and they specifically did not want a podium mic, which would have picked him up better where he was standing.
Right. It's almost like you have to draw a picture for them and give them an idea. I wonder if that would work. I wonder if you could, like, I don't know, at the podium or something, be like, look, this is your field. This is how you want to handle things. It's coming this way and this way. When you're outside of that, it's gone. It's gone.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, these people are stupid.
Along the same lines, we have, these remote controls that are perfect cues. It has a big green button in the middle of it that is forward the slide.
Yep.
A smaller red circle that's back
Laser.
the slide.
Oh, backside.
And a smaller green circle that's the laser. And there's a blackout one, which I don't know why they even put that on there. But I had a doctor yelling at me. Of course, he had already not been able to use just a regular mouse, wireless mouse cue thing. and was telling me that that didn't work. I was willing to say maybe that didn't work, but I gave the same spiel every time I handed a perfect U to somebody. Big green buttons go, little red buttons back. Don't blind people with the laser, which is the little green. And he's up there on stage yelling at me that the thing wasn't forwarding the slides while blinding the entire front row with the laser. Like, you can't, this is a doctor.
Doctors
who
aren't
I
smart.
explained a simple 4-button.
One of my best
slide
friends
transfer.
forever. He's a doctor, and he's like, he goes, I don't know how you know all the things you do. He's like, I feel like you are a genius compared to me. And I'm like, you went to med school. You take care of people's health, and you know this stuff. He goes, yeah, it's single task. He goes, they should make doctors take business courses, because most doctors wind up working for private practices, and you have no idea how your money is made. It doesn't make sense. You sign a contract, you assume the money's going to come in, and then you find out that, oh, well, I have to submit so many hours. My billable hours have to be X. The medical coding has to include a process and a procedure in order to actually then, like, he's like, we don't know about medical billing. We have a department that does that, but we're doing our thing, and we might be doing our thing wrong. And he goes, my paycheck's getting smaller and smaller, and I don't know why. They're still getting their cut no matter what.
Yeah.
He's like, business courses, technology courses. He's like, they should make doctors take some practical stuff outside of reading, writing, arithmetic, and medicine. He goes, because we're all fools. Everyone, he goes, a bunch of doctors standing around in a room going like, do you know? I don't know. How about you? I don't know. How does the interwebs work?
Yeah. So all that to say that people are dumb and will forget whatever atrocity they've just been brought to light in a couple of hours. Next time the Kardashians say something, they'll forget what they saw.
That's funny. True. Well, I feel like I should let you go to sleep.
It is about that time.
It is. Thanks for coming on and playing. I appreciate it. Sorry I was late. I apologize.
And Coy never even made it, so I guess you're still ahead of him.
Yeah, well, Atomic Dork Duo, we did just fine. I did buy this this little thing. It's called I don't know. It's a ball, and it's called a hold on, a surprise blind ball. I just wanted a ball that was blind.
I didn't know any ball could see.
Yeah. If you rest them on somebody's face, sorry.
Took me a few seconds to get where you were going.
Honey, what are you doing? I'm funny. They're eyeballs. Let's open it real quick and then we'll go. Let's see what's inside of it. I think it's blank because you don't know. There's some sort of tchotchke or toy. I got 3 of them just in case. Because I figured if you get one, you don't know what you're comparing it to. You're like, well, I got a thing. I don't know if it's cooler than the other things. So here we go. It's alive. No, I'm just kidding.
So it's an Easter egg.
This would be a rubber cacti, which is kind of appropriate for here. So let's check what's in this one, and then we'll see which one we like better. Oh, it's it's a creature
holding a heart.
So, there's a heart too. I think there's a theme. Okay.
I got to open the last one.
Got to open this last one.
We've covered it all tonight. We've done Star Wars, and now we've got unboxing of toys.
Yeah. I added more trinkets to my shelf of grandma's racist trinkets of Christmas past. You remember I had the little dark-skinned porcelain doll that I picked up? Do you recall that?
No, that's okay.
It's a porcelain doll with the afro. I picked it up because it felt like it was not appropriate, and I found it at a thrift store owned by the Mormons. So you know that some racist Mormon grandmother died or something. They're like, what do we do with this black face doll? Well, donate it and Jeff will buy it. Well, I now have a couple of totem poles, an Irish shillelagh, a wooden Chinaman, reading, I don't know,
Dr. Seuss.
something. Yeah, so I'm just adding to my shelf of racist trinkets of grandma's past. So someday they'll all be gone because everything will be woke. So thrift stores are the only place where you can find racist trinkets. Number 3, it's an owl. Woo!
I like the owl.
I like the owl.
Hold on just a second. I'm gonna get you.
So what do we like? Cacti, green thing, or the owl? I'd say I like these two the best.
Yeah, I like the owl. Does the owl have a heart as well? Does the underneath the eyes?
Nope.
It's a heartless owl.
Heartless owl. All right. So this will represent Jeff Coy. This will be representative of me in the desert, and then this will be the wise owl.
The wise
sci-fi,
owl.
Sci-fi Dan. All right.
All right. Good night.
Good night, sir.
See you next week.
Yes, sir. Love one another. Love yourselves, right? All right. I love
Good night.
myself all the time.
And on that note,
that was fun. That was it. And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My daughters went to roller skating at 5. Does it feel like it's too late? Like it's 9:20? They're not back yet. Do you think they met boys? Maybe they met days. Maybe they got groomed and they're being trafficked. The house is very quiet without them here. Let's find out where they are. I have trackers on them. I was going to get them electric collars, like for dog training, but instead we just put GPS chips in their necks. So let's find out. Near South Melville Drive. Well, let's see. That, Broadway, Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, East Broadway, and Palo Verde Park. I thought they're up to something. I believe 22nd Street is where the roller skate place is. Okay, from 9 o'clock to 9:09, 3-mile drive. Okay. They were at the correct place, I think. Yes. Okay. Good news. Good news. The teenage tracker is working. Okay. Good. Are they moving? Where the hell are you? Question mark. Why aren't you home? Question mark. All right, that's it, Dork Squad. Peace out, pasa afuera, love one another, love yourself, and if you come to a fork in the road, take it. Yeah.